The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hello and welcome back to Tap to Table Show. I'm your host, Marie-Chantal, and today I have another guest from Ebenezer. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks for having me.
This is Carl, and how do we say your last name?
Soderberg.
Soderberg.
Yes.
Yes. That sounds like soda and a burger.
Yes. Got that throughout my entire childhood.
Oh, really? So I wasn't the only one that
No,
kind of like...
it's not original, but
it's not
I appreciate it, though.
Okay. Well... So, this show, what we do is we take everyday recipes and we elevate them with good crafted beer. So today we're doing mini tacos, and it's a nice and quick and easy recipe, something that we can put in the crock pot, let it sit, enjoy some good beer, and kind of mingle with friends.
Perfect.
So, and today you're going to do some chopping. You'll do the chopping, and I'm going to do like getting the meat and stuff. So we're gonna go a little healthy, and I have ground turkey meat and ground chicken. So, and with this, I would advise to try to have like a little bit of fat, like the turkey meat's around 93% fat-free, so just have a little bit of that because it kind of adds some nice moisture levels. Okay.
Fat makes everything taste better.
It does, I know. I was like, well, let's go healthy. You know, not that I'm afraid of beef, but. So you're gonna be chopping up some of the vegetables. We're gonna be chopping them up in like little chunks. That's what we wanna have. Okay. So while you get that started, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing some seasonings here. And again, all these recipes will be available on the Tap to Table Show Facebook page, where you'll be able to recreate these at home. We're going to put a little bit of chili powder here. So you started brewing. Was this something like, were you like a home brewer at one point, or?
Yeah,
Tell me a little bit about tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I think, I mean, brewing's a very popular hobby nowadays, and it's something that Mike and I, who's my business partner, we met back in the Army with 1st Armored Division, and brewing is just something that kind of piqued our interest. We started home brewing separately, and then a couple years after we got out of the Army, he went back to the West Coast. I moved up here, and we both continued home brewing. It was something that we really thought that we could do well together, and started writing up a business plan back in 2013. Looked at Southern California and New Hampshire and figured that New Hampshire was the perfect place to do what we wanted to do. So Mike moved out here and became our full-time brewer out of my garage.
Oh, really?
6 months later, we had moved into our 5,200 square foot facility in Merrimack and started building. We opened the brewery 6 months later, and we've been open for about 14 months now. We've been having a lot of fun with it, and I think part of that is, we're experts at beer brewing, but it's been really fun being in the industry and meeting a lot of chefs like yourself and seeing a lot of the cool things that chefs have been doing with our beers, whether it's pairings or cooking with them.
Oh, really?
So the moment you guys came to us about participating in the show, I was, once I turned beer brewing into a business, that ceased to be my hobby at home, so my hobby's been kind of teaching myself how to cook. So I apologize if my knife skills aren't the best in the world.
A really good job there. So keep up. You're doing good. So the chopping, it's.
Am I doing small enough?
Yes. You want nice little, because this salsa that we're going to be doing, because you kind of want to like scoop it up into your little scoopers. We got some little nice little.
Perfect.
Tostito
I do love chips and salsa.
Well, there you go. That's. Good. It's a good thing. I mean, you could take this at home. So, So what I've done here so far is I've blended all the spices. It's inside with the turkey and the ground chicken as well. And you just mix it in just a little bit. And then we're going to set it and forget it. Well, hopefully don't forget it for too long. I mean, time yourself. It wouldn't be no more than an hour that we're going to be letting this kind of simmer on high. If you want to do it on the low temperature, I would just increase the time to 2 hours for that. So that is there. And now, once you finish cutting that, I'm going to ask you if you could pass over the Victory beer. So the 2 beers that we're using from Ebenezer is a Victory beer. It's very like hoppy. It has a very strong, prominent taste, which is really going to bring out a lot of flavor. And with the turkey meat, thank you, turkey and chicken, they tend to absorb flavors really well. So, woo.
That's a good sign. That's what you want.
Yeah. So it was a nice compliment. And we're going to do just about 2/3 cup of this. And once you finish with that, we're going to, oh, here's a little towel if you want to.
Perfect.
Yeah. So you don't have to wipe it on your pants.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Look, Ma, clean hands. So, all right. And then I just pour this in here. That's it. Real simple. And so, since you said you like different things to try, I was going to create a drink with one of your beers. And
Digging it.
Here, go from there. Let me move the spices out of the way. And oh. And then for the salsa, we're just doing like a light salt and pepper just to taste. That's gonna.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Alrighty. Cut that. Yeah. All the way. Yep. Easy, easy.
I got it.
Yeah.
I became
Today's not a good day to go to the hospital.
Oh, believe
you know
me.
what I mean?
I've cut myself many a time on avocados.
Oh, I would say you can also take the knife. If you just hit it just right, you can kind of like twist it and then it pops right out.
Perfect. Yeah, Mike and I were stationed down in El Paso at Fort Bliss, and we kind of fell in love with Mexican food. It's
El Paso, Texas?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't know if there was another El Paso.
It very well may be. No, we kind of fell in love with Mexican food. It's kind of, as guys, it's easier to make, I guess, and you kind of get all the food groups in one, and started experimenting with making my own
getting some stuff.
My own guacamole, and I have definitely learned the hard way how to and how not to open up an avocado. So.
Yes. Yeah. And this avocado, it's nice and green. You can also test the quality. If you ever want to like good avocado, if you hold it and it feels like a baseball, then it needs time to soften up and mature. So the best thing you would do is you would take that, put it in a plastic bag, and set it for a couple of days at room temperature, and that should bring it up to where it's just kind of firm enough to where you can be able to eat it. Otherwise, it's not easy to peel like we just shown you here. So I was like, perfect.
I think I figured it out pretty well.
Yeah.
I do love avocados.
Yeah, I love avocados and guacamole. All right.
And they're good for you.
Yes. Now, if you want to grab, you can grab also if you want to use your knife as there you go.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
Told you, today's a learning day for me as well.
That's okay. That's good. That's good. All right, here. Yeah.
I would normally just lick it off my fingers, but I don't think that's...
So at home, when no one's looking, you can do that. But for here, yeah. For made for TV, yeah. All right, so we'll put this over here. And now we have, as we previously, we had chopped up some mint and cilantro.
I'm just throwing them right in?
Just throwing them in.
Alrighty.
Yep. And we'll go ahead and we're going to use half a cup of the caramel. I want to say caramel. So this Auburn one,
Yes, the Auburn, we use a lot of honey and caramel malts, which is a little atypical for a red ale. How much did you say?
oh, just half a cup.
Did I get half? I'm actually a little shy.
Oh, just there. Okay.
But that sweetens up the back end of the beer. Just typically Irish reds are a little drier right on top.
Yep, just right on top. And we're going to do a little bit of salt and pepper. And let me grab you a little spoon. A spoon.
I got one right here.
Oh, there is?
Way ahead of you.
Okay. So just gently, you're going to kind of just like gently mix everything in there together. And then once everything gently mixes in, then you'll just sprinkle a little bit of salt and pepper. And voila. And look at the colors. The colors are right. So we use 2 different types of bell peppers. We use an orange and yellow pepper. I do like them because they tend to be a little bit sweeter than your regular green peppers. We also had tomatoes in here, avocado, cilantro, mint, and mix it in with some beer, a little salt and pepper. Yep. So yeah. So this one. Oh yeah. We grind and then we sprinkle. So
Perfect.
yeah. And that's just let it set in the fridge, cover it up, let it sit in the fridge for about, a good hour while this gets cooking. And I'm going to check on this. And
I'm
this,
very
you don't
interested
have
to
to-
see how this comes out. I've never made salsa with beer before. This might become a new staple at the house.
Oh, at the house. Yeah. There you go. So if I feel like I've taught somebody something, I feel so much better, So, okay. And that's like, oh my God, it smells so good. Oh, okay. I'm going to then, put this here. Alrighty. And so what I have here is we're going to grab a couple of mint leaves. And actually, we can do, we'll just grab this. And you can just, so for here, we don't need to use a knife. You can kind of, because what you want is you want to pull out the oils. So I'll kind of squeeze and then just twist.
Just kind of muddle it a little bit in your hands.
Yeah, exactly.
2 leaves?
Yeah, a couple leaves, yeah. So if you have a muddler, you can, do that. So mojitos. But today is not mojito day. It's
kind of a spin on a mojito
Yeah.
with a craft beer.
Exactly. And then I already have cut up a couple of little, so what I've done is taken half of a lime and then just kind of just squeeze it in there for a little bit, for some taste. And you can, if you want to leave I love lime, so I usually just kind of throw that in there.
Perfect. I'm a gin and tonic guy.
Okay. Beautiful. Okay. So the caramel, yep.
And then just right over the top.
Yep.
How much?
About 3/4 of the way. Yeah. That sounds good.
Perfect.
Oh, and so we're going to clean up the board too. I forgot to cut the cheese. And I don't mean that kind of cheese. So, all right, so let me get the board a little bit clean. This and that, yeah. Let this set. What do you think?
That's good.
Yeah. Well, cheers to that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that did kind of like a nice one. Yeah. I'm a genius. No, I'm not that genius, but I try. Okay. Cheese, because I like a little bit of cheese with, so we're going to get this cheese just cut up and we're going to put in a little container. Yeah.
How would you like it cut?
Just in chunks. Again, little bitty chunks.
Can
So
do.
we're going to have that. And this is sitting in there, and we are, cut your fingers. Again, today's not a good day to go to the hospital.
I don't know if any day's a good day.
I know.
Perfect.
Yep. Yeah, because we're going to do a nice little spread where we're going to have a little bit of everything to kind of put everywhere. So chop that up. Guess I'm good at doing a good time on timing. That's okay. You're my interviewed guest, so you know if it goes over, it goes over.
I'm not too worried.
And then I do have little containers that we're gonna put it in after you finish that. Oh. Yeah, in my little kitchen.
All right.
What's that doing? That's good. All the
I think we're good.
Yeah. Okay.
Apologize.
Not bad.
I'm not the fastest chef, but I'll get there.
It's all a learning process, you know. You can't expect everything to be like quick. So, all right, we'll put this over here, and
Cheese goes.
It goes. Yeah, just put it in one of the little containers. Yeah, that'll be good.
There you go.
Oh, beautiful. Here, I'm gonna clean your hands. Okay. Let me get this in here. Get some of this in here, and we'll fill up both. We got plenty to fill up both. Oops. And this sauce is just good by itself. Of course, I got to try everything whatever I do. So it was.
Well, I'm looking forward to that part.
It's delicious. Okay. All right, so we got that set. This is cooking, and we're gonna be wrapping it up, and we're gonna have our little dinner. Okay? So tune in. We'll see you in a few. Welcome back to the Tap to Table show. Here with my guest, Carl. We are now going to enjoy the goodies that we have made. So are you ready to dig in?
I'm excited.
Okay, so let's go. This is finger food. So I'm going to grab a few of these chips and we kind of just fill a little bit of each. Put a little bit of like meat on the, you know. And I would recommend trying to, see there's some nice little juices. I would recommend trying to put, you know.
Get all that.
Yeah, all that goodness, so. And depending on what you want. So the salsa here, Carl also did an excellent job in chopping. Chop it. And you're telling me that you don't know how to cook. What the heck?
Well,
look at that.
I can cut things at least.
Yeah. So we have a little mixture of like the salsa. Actually, you know, we'll put a couple of some of these bites on my meal as well. Oh, there you go. And I'm gonna put some cheese. I love my cheese. Good cheese. And this is nice little like sharp cheddar. Do a little bit. There. I'm missing a couple of these babies. Like that. Pile it on. Ooh. This is the best part. Is always the taste, like how everything. You got that? Or it's a hand.
It is the best part.
That's it. Well, cheers to this.
That is good.
That's good.
You have successfully made salsa out of beer. That is very good.
I've made y'all proud.
Yeah, that's.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. Because it's something that I strive on, that when I create something that it comes out with some good flavors and so on. So
That's very good.
So you're getting some nice little like moisture and juiciness from the meat that we have, and then we've added some nice like cool, crisp, clean flavors from the veggies and the avocado, and then of course the cheese just kind of puts it all together. And then we have some beer to accompany.
Can't go wrong with that.
No. No. When I made this, I was literally eating it. This is really good by itself. You know? I mean, you could
I
put
can easily
this
see
on
that.
fish. I mean, if you like fish, you know, just put a little bit on. I mean, it's kind of pretty versatile.
You could probably put it right on top of a burger too if you really wanted.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking. Because on the crock pot, one of the things too, I like, because you can do, like, have you ever had steamed burgers? Mm-hmm. So instead of using water,
Use the beer.
yep.
I like
and
that.
it'll kind of just pour, you know, let the flavors just let them do their thing.
Excellent.
So, but, and then we're enjoying some nice little, just as a refresher, with this beer, it was Auburn beer, and we added a little squeeze of lime and just some mint. You don't want to overpower it because you want it to give it to where it just kind of enhances the beer. It doesn't want to take away from what we got. So, so tell me the history about Ebenezer and how it got started, how you all buddies, you know?
Wow. Yeah, so we named the company Able Ebenezer. Like I told you earlier, Mike and I are former Army officers with 1st Armored Division. So we've had a healthy dose of military history training, and the Army tends to go far more in depth than your average classroom would. And
Yeah.
kind of got me into reading a lot of the smaller stories, the lesser known stories, leading up to the American Revolution. And that's when I found the story of Ebenezer Mudgett and the Pine Tree Riot. We really wanted to name the company something that was local, that had
Yeah.
some depth to it, and was a really good story to tell over a beer. The way the story goes is, after England had deforested their entire continent going into
Yeah.
the 1700s, they passed a law here in New England that said any tall white pine tree greater than 12 inches in diameter ceased to be your property. It was officially property of the king. And one logger stood up against the British, and actually it was a good 4 years before the Revolution became official.
Yeah.
You had a logger and a few dozen of his neighbors and colleagues from the backwoods of New Hampshire rallied together to fight against the British. It's a lesser known story, but it became a key event leading up to the American Revolution. It's a story that we love, and I think it represents us. It's something that we believe in, and so we decided to put it on the name of our brewery.
Yeah, because I noticed that that's what was kind of your inspiration to bring you that courage that he brought upon. So yeah, I've never heard about it, or I didn't learn it in history class, but it was definitely an interesting story. So
We're definitely giving out a little dose of history with each pint that we're pouring up at the brewery.
yeah, and which is good because I mean the beer itself is a good conversation piece when you talk about the different beers and what it tastes like. But to have a story to go along with it, I think it even makes it more.
Well, it makes it fun. I
intriguing.
mean, that's what.
Yeah, because this is a drinking beer. It's the kind of beer that you want to enjoy. It's not like, hey, let's go and get how many more pints can we drink?
Yeah,
kind of thing.
I mean, beer to me is kind of the same thing as food. It's a very communal product. You know, people gather around together, and whether they know it or not, they tell stories. Whether it's
Yeah.
a story that happened last night or a story that happened 200 and something odd years ago, people
Yeah.
like to share stories. So we based a lot of our company around stories, whether it's military history stories or stories about us or just things that mean something to us. We try to have fun with it, and you know, whenever we're out having a beer, we just like to sit around and tell good stories.
No, that is good. So so then y'all developed all this, and then these recipes are recipes that y'all created and put together. So what do you carefully, well, explain the ones that we're using today. If you can you'll be able to explain them a little bit more in depth.
Definitely. The Auburn Ale, which we used in the salsa and our Auburn cocktails here. The Auburn Ale is our session red ale. We call it a session beer because it's lower than 5% alcohol. So it's designed to be a beer that you can kind of drink
Yep.
all day.
Yes, it is definitely.
But we use a lot of honey and caramel malts which sweeten up the back end of it. It's a very sessionable beer. It's a very easy drinking beer, but it also gives you that maltiness that you want to find in a good craft beer. We also designed it to be kind of a good.
I think you said a starter beer, right?
Yeah, it's like
It's
an
just starter
entry level beer. Like anything you have to develop a palate for,
Yes.
you have to find that start point. and from there your palate can grow. So we designed this to be a great starting point beer where if somebody's not really into craft beer, this is a good place to start. It'll start opening up your horizons and that whole fun exploration that the rest of us are doing right now in craft beer. Victory nor Defeat, which is our double IPA, we released it on our 1-year anniversary a couple months ago. I would say that's the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yes.
It is a 8% alcohol, 82 IBU double IPA. We use 5 different hops at multiple editions. We actually worked on this beer for over a year. We started working on it well before we opened, and it took us many, many tries to get it right. But for us, it's all about the balance, accentuating all the notes aside from the bitterness that you get from hops, the fruity notes, the floral notes. People have come in and asked us what fruit we put in the beer. There's no fruit at all. It's just water, yeast, malt, and an abundance of hops.
Yes, and it does, yeah. I really, really enjoy it, yeah. So both of them were my favorites. And so along with that, you have 2 other ones that are your regular, with Burn the Ship and then
yeah, we have 2 others that we keep
Arrow.
around all year. The Broad Arrow's our Vienna IPA. It's a little lower in alcohol than the Victory. That's a very popular one. It's a very sessionable, drinkable, easy drinking IPA. You still get that. So if you're a hop head, it'll still give you that that hoppy aroma and flavor that you're looking for.
Yeah.
But it goes down so easy and smooth and finishes so clean that you can, you don't have to like fight with your beer, which it seems like a lot of IPAs have been getting to. It's almost like a battle. And then Burn the Ships is our most popular beer. That's our smoked IPA. Which started as a weird garage experiment, borderline joke between Mike and I. No one's ever made a smoked IPA before. Let's see if we can do it. And we kept at it for a few months and got it right. And we only brought it to market because it was a beer that we really loved. We didn't think that it would take off the way it has, but out of the near 50 restaurants that we're on tap at, it's poured at a majority of them. So that is our most popular beer.
That's your most popular beer.
It's very unique and complex.
So I want to say thank you again for with everything, being my guest and helping me out and exploring on the beers that we have. And all of these beers are available. You can go onto their website to Ebenezer.com and to get more information and visit their site. It's so cool. They got so many different things. They got this nice old bar and enjoy some of the brews there. And Carl, you work the bar there too as well. And this is your host again, Marie-Chantal from the Tap to Table show, where all your recipes are available on Facebook. So remember, it's Tap to Table show on Facebook. And remember these 3 things that I like to strive for: strength, safe, and peace. 2 drink minimum, guys. Thanks.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.